Hello, welcome to What's Not Gas. Kalkhoff is here and the era of super light electric bikes seems to be here as well. 2025, this is the Entice by Kalkhoff. In this video, we're going to review a few things about this bike. Firstly, the design, the pieces, what it's made of, the performance, the engine, but also the comfort, the suspension, and how you sit whilst riding. The building quality is also quite important, and then we gather that all together into a price comparison to see where this bike holds up. First off is the design. It's a nice design, it's really light, it's an aluminum frame and it really holds up. You can feel strength and quality and comfort whilst riding. And although this is a comfortable e-bike, it's also somewhat sportive. You can ride it sportive and you can ride it upright. The steering wheel stem allows you to change that positioning and the seat can be raised up and down just as you want to make sure that it's in line with your stride. You might have noticed that this frame isn't that big, it seems quite compact, it's light, they use less material, but it still is quite strong. At the same time, this down tube doesn't look that thick, and that's because they opted for a smaller 400 watt-hour battery in here. That, combined with the SX engine, makes for a whole less amount of weight compared to a Bosch SX or Performance line, which again makes this bike a lot lighter than other e-bikes, especially the older generation. But they wanted to make sure that the name Kalkhoff, which stands for quality, is still shown here. And so you see that luxury premium builds, the colors, the finishing, everything's really nice. And they also use pieces from premium brands, this Bosch engine being the first example. On the front they have a Suntour suspension, definitely not the most premium or the highest grade, but it does the job. It's changeable, you can adapt it to the user's weight and to the sensitivity that you'd like. In the rear we see no suspension, but that's something you can always place yourself. I found the rides quite comfortable, but as soon as I go a bit off-road or uneven deck, then I did feel like that would have helped. All the remaining things, such as the brakes and the gearing system, it's all Shimano, or they opted for the Q's 9-speed. There are other models in the Shimano range that offer more gears or a higher quality, but this does fine for this type of bike. The quality is quite good, so there's no need to doubt. It's more, is this enough gears for me? Do I want more? Do I need a higher spec? A personal choice. Not sure if I really need to cover this, but luggage rack, 25 kilos or 25 kilos, ISO certified, opens like this and closes. You can fit a child carrier or backpacks, and you have side holders for the bags. So anything you want, it's very universal. Quick disclaimer from me from the end of the video: if you like this type of content, like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comment below. And then we can finally talk about this Bosch SX engine, usually used on sportive models or bikes that are meant to keep light. It's really a new and good engine. Bosch has recently improved their lineup. Where they always used CX engines, we now have a new CX which is super powerful, super performance, is really one of the best electric engines. We have this SX which is focusing on lower weight, 2 kilos in the engine, 400 watt-hour battery, 2.7 kilos, 4.7 total. That's not too bad for a mid-hub engine, especially one that is as powerful as this one, because the max watt output at peak levels is still comparable to the CX. The only big difference is the Newton meters. The CX had an amazing 85 Newton meters, while this one only has 55, even lower than the Performance line, which Bosch has also released. But those Newton meters are more important when we go uphill or we carry a weight, and that's not the point with these bikes. So the SX for this Kalkhoff Entice is really an excellent choice. Apart from that, there's the option to mount a range extender, extra 250 watt hours, and charging happens here. Also range extender, you plug it in here. We have mounting options here, here, and here. Keep in mind this one is usually for a wheel lock, and then here we can mount bags or whatever you need. But what I really liked about this bike is not that it looks nice, or the paint and the duotones, the premium elements, the engine, the design. It's not necessarily only that, it's also what this represents. It's a super light e-bike. Now, super light, it's called 20 kilos light for an e-bike, but not super light. And that difference in weight is something you can really feel whilst riding. For the first time, it actually feels like a hybrid bike. Like a bike you can ride either electrically or not electrically, where it's off. It's also one of the first electric bikes where I'm riding 25, the max allowed limit for the electric engine to support you. And suddenly I'm going 26, 27. The bike can go faster than the engine. You can ride it above the speed of the engine. And up to now that was quite difficult because the bikes are just too heavy. Around 25, 26, 30 or more, it just becomes impossible. And that to me plays a big part in how you pick an e-bike. On one hand, it's an e-bike, on the other hand, it's a bike. A lot of people still want to know if the eco stand is strong enough to support them. Well, with these bikes, it's more like, do I need electric support? Is there uphill or whatnot? And you can turn off the engine and just cycle at a normal speed. So my final thoughts on the bike is I've enjoyed it. It was really a fun bike. The lightness surprised me. The SX engine, really a good engine again. Well done, Bosch. And well done to Kalkhoff for this design. It really looks nice. To everyone who I show the test bikes I have available, they all want to see and test this one first. That says something, both men and women. Everyone seems to really like this bike, like the design, and like what it represents. And with that, I'll leave you the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you, or you'll see me, next time.